You have to go out there and be that change. You have to take leadership. Take leadership. Do not ask. I don't want any one of you going and asking who's going to take charge next, who's going to be the next leader. I want every single person here to be that leader, okay? Now welcome my lovely, lovely human being friend, Shailene Woodley.
Aloha everybody, so grateful to be here and so pumped on how many people stayed. This is really great, you know, oftentimes we gather like this. Oh, gotta get the light, gotta get that light. So many times, you know, rallies like this are held and a lot of people don't stay till the end because we get wrapped up in the distractions of our lives, which I understand are incredibly important because we all lead very busy lives. I had something that I wanted to say, but I was so moved by what Kendrick said and by the interaction with our brother Luis. And, you know, I was on Standing Rock, and I'm sure it's been said many times tonight, I was arrested. But I had been standing side by side with those on Standing Rock since February of this year. In February, we partnered with the youth, the Sioux youth of Standing Rock Reservation, and put out a petition. And it got no media coverage. There's a few of us passing it around social media, and they got now they have over 150,000 signatures. It's so beautiful. When I got to Standing Rock, to Sacred Stone Camp, it was about 2.5 months ago. They were, and the rain comes. This is so beautiful. There was around 35, 55 people. There were not many. Joey and I were there together, and there were not very many people. And within 3 weeks, there was over 2,000 people, and then you add another week to that, and there was 8,000 people. And the reason why I keep going back to Standing Rock, amongst so many reasons, is yes, this is about a pipeline, and yes, if we let this pipeline be built, that sends a message out to the world that we're okay continuing down this path that utilizes fossil fuels. So that's a very important part of this movement. But what's even bigger with this movement is we are uniting. Nations are coming together. We are recognizing that the language that separates us, the language that says, I'm white, you're native, the language that separates us is in place to distract us from what matters, and what matters is love. And it is so important that all of us recognize and truly believe and know that we are not going to save our sacred mother. We're not going to. Mama Earth can take care of herself. You guys, we have to stand with her, and we have to save humanity. Because humanity, we are made of earth. Our bones are made of soil, and one day it will go back to the land. And I'm pretty sure that every single one of us requires oxygen to survive and requires water to survive. And right now, we are destroying our resources. Our oceans provide us 50% of our oxygen comes from the ocean. And our coral reefs are dying. And we continue to eat fish, even though we know we are taking those fish out of fisheries that are depleted, that are so compromised by our distraction. And I'm not telling you to go vegan or go vegetarian. You do you. I'm just saying we got to become aware of these issues, feel them in our heart, hold them in our prayer, and pray about how we should move forward. And that's what they're doing on Standing Rock. I've said this before, but for a long time our narrative has been us against them. Us against Big Pharma, us against Monsanto, us against the fossil fuel industry. That has gotten us nowhere because we're still here right now talking about this. We have to start shifting our narratives and our paradigms so that we live from a place of love and we say, I stand with you. And I may not understand you, and we may think differently, and we may look differently, but I know that you care in your heart of hearts about your children. And I care about my children. So how do we communicate and walk hand in hand together so that we don't have to battle this out. Because battles and violence have gotten us nowhere, and that's what we're learning from Indigenous people all around the world. Indigenous people, for the most part, and marginalized communities are the first communities to get compromised and to get taken out by the fossil fuel industry. Their lands are flooded from dams being built. Their fish are taken and put in other countries. Their mountains are compromised without any regard to their sacred ancestry and to their traditions. And the reason why Standing Rock is so powerful is because still, all these years later, after everything that my ancestors did, Indigenous people are standing at the front lines with their hands behind their back and their hearts forward, and they are saying, I care. And I'm going to wake up so that I guarantee that your children have a place to live. It is wonderful that we're all here in Los Angeles tonight, and I applaud you, and I'm grateful, and I treasure you for that. But we need your asses on Standing Rock. And I love that you're clapping. But I'm going to challenge you right now. Nobody clap. I'm going to challenge you right now. If you can make an agreement with yourself, because no one in the world can hold you accountable but yourself, to show up on Standing Rock in North Dakota within the next 3 weeks because you are needed there now, I want you to clap your hands. That's beautiful. One last thing I want to say, because I know we've all been here for a long time, we want to watch Josh's movie, and it's so exciting, and the rain is coming, and stars are out, is I have these two beautiful men beside me. Two people who have impacted my life in ways that will make me cry. I'm not going to talk about them. But the reason they have impacted my life is because they have stayed quiet long enough to realize how they can show up for the world with their hearts and with love. And they've sat with that long enough. Someone that I deeply admire and treasure and adore told me recently that us women, you know, we're seeing us on the front lines. It's pretty badass. We have a connection to this earth. We have the ability to send out the most amazing prayers and connect to this planet. And men have the opportunity to protect us while we do that. So I asked my two brothers to stand by my side tonight, so that while I was out here giving you my prayer and opening up my heart and being vulnerable and real, because this is the fight of our lives. And we have to honor our ancestors, and we have to protect our future generations. These two beautiful men have been protecting me. So all you women out there, know that your prayers matter, that your womb matters, and your connection to this earth matters. And all you men out there, know that you have the ability to protect those prayers with your strength and with your unconditional love. So thank you all for showing up tonight. Thank you all for what you're going to do when you get to Standing Rock. And thank you for recognizing that we all have different roles. Maybe you're not someone who wants to get arrested, that's fine. Maybe you're somebody who's a student and you have access to a lot of coffee shops and you can make flyers and you can hand them out. Maybe you're the person who's in the car with the window down and a car pulls up next to you and you go, yo bud, you ever heard of Standing Rock? Look it up, #NoDapple. We gotta get creative, guys. There's no formula. We're making this up as we go. But because we're on love's side, and because we're doing it compassionately, we don't even have to say we're gonna win. Because it's already written. So thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the movie, and please keep praying. Hold your ceremony.